Hey everyone, welcome to the Mobile User Acquisition Show. In the Mobile User Acquisition Show, we feature interviews with the smartest folks in mobile and growth who share invaluable, actionable, tactical insights on every aspect of mobile growth and marketing, not to mention some adjacent areas just as well. The Mobile User Acquisition Show is presented by me, Shamant Rao, CEO of the mobile growth marketing firm Rocketship HQ, and produced by Karishma Sundaram, our superstar content marketing manager at Rocketship HQ. Each episode includes strategies, tips, and pointers from the leading edge of mobile growth marketing that you can use to unlock tremendous growth for your app in a sustainable and capital efficient manner. So today's episode is inspired by a discussion that I've had online recently and at some points of time in the past as well. And this is a somewhat common assertion that developers or advertisers broadly should diversify their user acquisition channel. Oftentimes, folks give investing as an analogy, and the argument is made that a diversified portfolio is better than one that isn't. Now, the analogy and advice to diversify your acquisition mix just to run on lots of channels, so you are reducing the risk on any individual channel, right? So this advice makes sense for some app developers, but I disagree that this advice is universally applicable. In fact, I think, and I know app developers have gotten burnt when they've followed this advice without full context, without understanding the full context. And I would also say this advice is to diversify is not applicable to the vast majority of advertisers. So the vast majority of advertisers should actually not diversify, and I'll explain why, right? So I can also speak to a lot of this clearly because we work with and advise app developers at very, very different levels of scale. Some are at under 50K a month in spend, some between 50 and 100K a month, and some are well north of 100K a month. And I've seen over 100 products at different levels of scale. And here are some of our recommendations around diversification. So the key thing is focus on self-attributing networks or SANs at low scale, anything under 50K a month. This is the number one piece of advice I give to app developers who are spending under 50,000 a month. That is to not diversify their acquisition mix. Typically, I recommend spend as much as possible on Facebook and not diversifying their channel mix at all. Now, if their product has strong resonance with Snap or TikTok, we might recommend some budgets there. If the Android product is somewhat strong, we might recommend spending some budgets on Google UAC and Android, but generally not on UAC iOS because of the numerous challenges that we've talked about elsewhere on this podcast. Again, for products that have some amount of strong intent, we might also spend some budgets there. But broadly, if you're under 50K a month, we never ever recommend running over 2 channels or a maximum of 3. Definitely, we recommend not running outside of self-attributing networks if you're spending under 50K a month. Now, another reason for this is because concentrating your channel mix ensures that algorithms have enough signals to actually perform for you. So the fact is that SAN algorithms actually struggle to perform if your budgets are too small, which means if you're getting very few purchases or in-app events or even installs for that matter, you're not going to give enough learnings to the algorithms to optimize for purchases or registrations or what have you, right? So if you're spread across 4 channels and each of them has a very, very small number of purchases or events, all 4 algorithms are going to perform badly just because they don't have enough data to optimize. I would much rather you concentrated all of that budget in a single channel. Now, if you had to take a concrete example, let's assume you have about 20,000 a month in budgets. Let's assume your CPA is $80, and which means you're getting about 250 conversions a month overall, right? And let's assume you spread this across 4 channels. That means about 62 conversions per month per channel. That's 2 per day per channel. That is barely enough signal for any channel to perform. And 20K a month is not trivial. And a lot of that can basically go to waste, really, right? And so typically, diversifying into 4 channels would actually perform worse than concentrating your budgets on a single channel that could perhaps deliver 8 conversions a day, learn faster, and deliver better results. Something that's also true is that the contextual advantages of ad networks are hard to tap into if you are at small scale. So what happens if you start scaling from, let's just say 40, 50K to anywhere between 50 and 100K a month? I would still recommend staying within self-attributing networks and scaling within self-attributing networks, because ad networks and DSPs can be hard to crack even at this level of scale. Sure, there is the contextual affinity of ad network traffic, especially for games, right? So if you're advertising for a game, an ad network is showing ads within other games, and in theory, it can appear that, oh, we're showing ads within other games, so it can convert well, it can be profitable, so we should test ad networks traffic earlier on. But the problem is the contextual affinity of ad network traffic typically is not enough to drive performance that is on par with self-attributing networks until you optimize your ad network traffic heavily, either by culling underperforming inventory or boosting performing inventory. You can do that either manually or via algorithms, but it is a huge haystack, and you have to find the needle in that before you can actually make it work. And this can take budgets and time for learnings to be unlocked. And really, we don't recommend going down that path until you are at least 100K in spend monthly. But once you've tapped out SAN traffic, it absolutely makes sense to diversify. There is a time and space for ad network traffic and DSP traffic, and this is typically when you want to scale beyond SAN traffic. A good rule of thumb for when this typically happens that we recommend looking at is when a product hits about 100K in spend across key SAN channels. This is when it makes sense to look outside of the walled gardens. So if you're at over 100K a month, your SANs are at enough scale. That also means you're able to spend enough time, effort, and budgets in optimizing your ad network or DSP traffic, either manually or via algorithms. And if these channels don't work out, as can sometimes happen, your overall metrics don't get hit that hard. Additionally, at these sorts of budgets, if you're not of 100K, you have enough signal within each of your channels by way of purchases or in-app events, so that the channel algorithms are able to learn and optimize without requiring a massive amount of time or budgets relative to your overall budgets. And absolutely, if these channels work out, you are able to unlock a massive amount of inventory that you would not have had access to via SANs alone. Unlocking this can alone let you scale faster and much more aggressively. We've certainly gone from 0 to 6 figures to 7 figures and spend going outside of the SANs, and it's absolutely possible, but there is a time and place for that. In summary, diversification can absolutely help you scale, but this is not for everyone and not at all stages of an app's life cycle or scale. We recommend a strategy of staying concentrated in your key channels at small levels of spend and increasingly diversifying as you unlock additional scale.
For more tips, pointers, and strategies from the leading edge of mobile user acquisition, subscribe to our YouTube channel right here, or check out our blog, rocketship.hq.com/blog.